Hello and welcome back to Bobbin's Minecraft Let's Play, featuring the Hoarder's Delight mod pack by Nicole BW. I'm Bobbin and you're watching episode 5. Remember this place? There are still pigs and sheep and chickens and one cow. Today's quests that we're going to finish involve this place. We're going to finish Naked Sheep, where we turn in yellow wool, and Happy Birthday, where we turn in cake. So let's see what's in the chest here. It looks like we have lots and lots of yellow wool. The rancher has been quite busy. So let's go ahead and turn in the yellow wool right here. And we now have precision shears. And this thing actually made all the cakes pretty quickly once I tethered the cow close to the rancher. You can sort of see it right there. There's a lead attached to the fence post. And so I've actually turned in most of the cakes so that the inventory didn't overflow. But the remaining cakes here should finish the quest, so let's just turn in the remaining cakes. And now we have Zavicio leggings. So just 2 more pieces of armor, and they correspond to the 2 remaining quests that have not been completed in Chapter 1, Hoarding Warm-Up. So today, once I get back to the base, we're going to see what we can do to get started on several quests. Smooth like butter, where we turn in blueberry smoothies. Now I will show you what I've set up for cobblestone, gravel, sand, dust, oak plank, and we'll do some stuff to get started on in or out and bouncy. So let's head back to the base and I will show you what's going on. Alright, the machine you are looking at is a blueberry smoothie assembly and submitting apparatus. This machine makes snowballs using a glacial precipitator from water and power and sends them over to a cyclic assembler where they are assembled with blueberries and a juicer using the blueberry smoothie schematic to create blueberry smoothies. The cyclic assembler then pushes the blueberry smoothies out to a quest delivery system, which is not connected up to a quest. You will notice that even though there are blueberries in here and there are snowballs in here and it has plenty of power, that it has not assembled but 8 blueberry smoothies. And these blueberry smoothies were assembled during testing after I set up this device. It is in fact not assembling any blueberry smoothies at all. And the reason it is doing that is because it is configured to only function when it is receiving a redstone signal. It is not receiving a redstone signal right now. The source for the redstone signal will be the quest delivery system once I connect up the quest. When a quest delivery system has a quest, an adjacent redstone comparator will emit a redstone signal, which can then be directed. In this case, it's being directed right back to the cyclic assembler. But since it doesn't have a quest, it's not doing it. Once the quest is complete, the block will return to the state that it's in right now. The redstone signal will stop, and the machine will stop assembling smoothies automatically. That's how this is set up. So let's go and set this up to submit the smoothies. So I'm going to select the task and then click on the QDS with the book. And you briefly saw the cyclic assembler start up. It has already used all of the snowballs, and it's got the blueberry smoothie right here. And for some reason it isn't ejecting out the side. Oh, I haven't set it up to eject. So now it ejects, and it's gone away into the quest delivery system, and if we check the quest book, it says we have submitted 16 of 100,000 blueberry smoothies. So I have not set up the water supply to this yet. I will have to do that in the basement, and I don't think I have the stuff ready for that yet, but I will do that between episodes, and this thing will kick off and start submitting smoothies until it submits 100,000 of them. When it's finished with the quest, it will not be done assembling smoothies because I also need blueberry smoothies for the fast food quest, which features the delighted meal. If we look in NEI at delighted meal, we will see that it requires a smoothie, and it can be any of several types. Blueberry is one of the types. And so what I will have this machine do, I probably will not be ready to submit the delighted meal when this finishes because it will probably finish pretty quickly, but I will take and warehouse the blueberry smoothies that it creates at that point until they're needed. Once it has finished making those blueberry smoothies, I will probably still continue to make blueberries because I can also use blueberry juice in the fried eggs quest, which involves making a hearty breakfast. Checking NEI here. Spell that right. The hearty breakfast requires some kind of juice, and blueberry juice works. So I'm actually going to be needing 300,000 blueberries. That's quite a bit. And when we go out there in a minute, I will show you my solution to this problem of needing 300,000 blueberries. In the meantime, the other thing I'm going to set up is I'm going to be setting up a tree farm because I want to start submitting oak planks and I want to start making doors, and I need rubber for the bouncy quest because I have to make 100,000 rubber bars. And one thing that you can do with the planks you get to get more of them for the amount of stuff that you've harvested is you can use the sawmill on them. And so I am going to set up a quick work spot here for the sawmill. So let me just take and stack up 5 of these sawmills, just like that. And I'm going to take my sawmills and I'm going to go ahead and configure them to input on the top, and I'll have them output, as I usually do, on the right. And I will repeat that for all 5 of these. And what's going to happen is I'm going to have a tree farm, and the tree farm is going to be growing multiple different types of trees. Some of them are going to be oak, and some of them are going to be rubber, and all of the logs will come here where they will be sawn into planks. And using the sawmill instead of a conventional crafting combine, I will get 5 planks plus an item that can be made into charcoal, or 6 planks rather, plus an item that will be made into charcoal for each oak log. For each rubber log, 5 junglewood planks instead of 3, and I'll have a 50% chance of getting raw rubber. This is in addition to the rubber that I acquired from just cutting down the tree. So this will give me another shot at getting rubber so that I will have more raw rubber to complete my 100,000 rubber bars with. So connecting these up, we're going to input on the top and output on the right. And I will need to connect these up to the overhead connection there. And I'm going to use a chest for a buffer. I usually do use a chest for a buffer. It's a lot easier to put the filter, if you're going to have a filter, on one chest than to put it on every container that might need it. And from the buffer chest, I'm going to run down to there. The buffer chest will always extract, and this guy will always insert using a whitelist filter for rubber logs and oak logs. And the chest probably caught something there while I was working on that. Let's see. Well, I have no way of knowing because I didn't actually set up the chest where I needed to. Let me change that just a little bit. I see it picked up some cobblestone. So the correct place to put the chest so that you can still open it is underneath this main conduit here instead of beside it. And then the filter will go in there. And there's no cobblestone. So I don't have any logs coming in yet, but once they do come in, they'll go in here to the sawmill and get chopped up, assuming that I have enough power coming in and enough capacity in these sawmills. They may not cut as fast as the logs come in which case I will have to revisit them and make sure that I get them all appropriately set up with enough capacity to do it. So we're getting a charge here and we're ready to go on those. The next place that I need to go is I need to go out and show you the blueberries. Now I showed you what I was starting with on the blueberries. Here is the finished product. We have a large hedge of blueberries that's 25 by 25, grown 3 levels high. These are colored glowstone. They're pink because I had some extra pink dye. I don't think it has a use in this mod pack, so I just went ahead and used it. So I need to set up harvesters for this. They don't need to be replanted because the harvester will only harvest the blueberries that are on the bush and it will leave the bush. So I've got my harvesters here and I need to come over here and I need to put one right here and one there and one there. And the more observant of you will notice that I have already forgotten something because I don't have my emerald upgrades that will allow these harvesters to harvest this whole field. But I will. Coming back over here. One way to deal with not knowing if these things actually require the if these will eject into Ender IO conduits, I simply don't know. I haven't researched it, but I usually have them eject into a chest anyway. And they will need power. Which will come from the basement. And they're going to be sending the goods out the top. The other thing that these produce is they produce sludge. You can leave the sludge. You don't have to do anything with it. I am going to go ahead and set up a sludge boiler and use it because the sludge will get me a few things that otherwise I might have to make manually through some process, and I'd rather not, like netherrack or soul sand. They also produce dirt, and nothing else really produces dirt, so unless I want to go mine dirt specifically, I'm not going to have any. So this will also produce dirt, and that'll be handy for setting up new crop fields. So I am going to set up a sludge boiler, and these things will need to be set to pump out. Alright, so now to repeat the same process on the other side. So I'm down here in the basement to hook up the power to my blueberry fields. And there's the conduit. We'll just extend this down a little bit. But before I do that, let me show you this. I did extend I increased the power. I am getting more than enough lava and more than enough power at the moment. I've got 4 of these dynamos running off of lava on crucibles. The crucibles have blazing pyrotheum under them now, not lava. That's why it's a little bit different color than the lava in the crucible. One thing that I did here for safety really was I put these cobblestone covers down around here. This will prevent the blazing pyrotheum from starting fires because it starts fires in adjacent blocks. I don't know if it will with a crucible on top of it or not, but when you go to put it down, it's really nasty about starting fires, and you can easily prevent that by putting these covers around. Now, a sludge boiler is something that is best put in an out-of-the-way place because it emits toxic fumes, and if you go anywhere near it, you'll get poisoned and get a hunger effect. And it's just best avoided if you don't like that sort of thing, which most people don't. So I am going to put down lots of these liquid conduits, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have enough, so I'll have to come back later and do it. But I'm going to take and put the sludge boiler probably somewhere over here, because this is an area that's under the middle of what's going to be the tree farm. Now, speaking of the tree farm, that is going to be right here. In fact, that is the planter for it. So I will need to connect the planter to somewhere. I guess I'll have to go back upstairs and identify where those things are. I know one of them is going to be approximately right here. There are going to be 2 harvesters on the tree farm just to handle the load of getting all the trees in, because this is a maximum size tree farm. A maximum size tree farm, really one harvester does not work fast enough to harvest it, especially if some of the trees are large trees, which with oaks inevitably they will be. So let's go back upstairs and look at what I've got set up for the tree farm. Alright, the tree farm is going to go here. There is going to be 1 harvester over here. And another harvester right here. And then under here, where we've got the planter, I am going to tell it to be planting oaks in this area and rubber trees in that area and birch trees in that area. Now the different colors on here correspond to the colors on top of the thing, which is getting dark because it's always dark in Bobbin's world. But it's getting dark right now, and so you can't really see the colors too well. They point in various directions, and essentially the field is just simply divided into 9 parts corresponding to the 9 regions on this grid. I don't really care where it plants them as long as it plants them in approximately these proportions, because I need more oak wood and then I need more rubber than birch, and birch I don't really need at all, but I need some kind of wood, and I like to use the birch as a building material because it's lighter in color. So taking this back downstairs to work on the connections for all this. Alright, the conduit will actually connect up behind this thing. I just don't like that very much. And there's already a conduit behind this one because it's pulling out the blueberries. Actually, I didn't run the conduit that way, but I can run it down this way. That'll be fine. On the planter, I need a filter. And the filter is specifically going to filter the various types of saplings. And I want to turn consume stack off so that it will always keep at least one slot reserved for these 3 different types of saplings. I'm going to set the priority to 1 so that it will fill this before it sends saplings anywhere else. And when I connect up the sludge, I will have to connect these up as well. Tree farms generate a lot of sludge. I'll get a whole lot more sludge from the tree farms than I will from the blueberries or future fields for wheat or cotton or sugar cane. Heading back upstairs, let's look at what's going to happen once I get the wood coming in. Alright, you saw me set up the sawmill, so the logs will go through here and they will get cut up into planks, except the birch. The birch will come directly here, as will the jungle planks. Oak planks will never come here, because I have set up 5 different quest delivery systems for 5 different quests. This one is set up for oak plank, and so any overflow on oak planks will go here with priority -30. -30 is higher than the priority on the overflow, which is -50. The other quests that are set up here are cobblestone, gravel, sand, and dust. And so any of these items that would go into the overflow chest will instead be submitted for the appropriate quest, which I need 1,000,000,000 cobblestone, and these others all require 1,000,000. So that will get started on those. The other thing that's going to happen with the planks is the door quest. Now, the door quest has an interesting little thing going with it. You cannot just use oak planks to make the doors. If I come over here and attempt to make a door with just oak planks, I guess it will work. Okay, I suppose you can. If I do it with just jungle planks, I don't think it will. No, it's going to produce this special jungle door from the Melissa's door mod. I guess that was resolved since the last time I looked at it. Before, if you tried to make one with oak planks, I think it tried to make a door that was specifically an oak door, so I was looking at making the door that way, which would work just fine because the generic door can be made with or dictionaried oak planks. In this case, though, I guess we'll be okay because I can just have it make it with oak planks. But in any case, I'll have it make it with planks, and we'll get started on the door quest, and that one will be the next machine that gets built over here. This field has an Ender IO farming station. The Ender IO farming station needs a hoe, so I will be taking probably some of my wooden planks and just making wooden hoes and shipping them out to this thing. This field is going to be planted in Minicio. And the whole field will be planted in Minicio. It'll be a large field, and I will need that not only to make seeds, but to make something else. Actually, to make a couple of something else's, but one of them is these blocks right here. These are essence bricks, and you need essence to make them. These two fields over here don't have anything set up yet. I'm still sort of pondering what I'm going to plant in them. One of them will probably have some diamonds in it. I'm not sure what's going to be in the other one. Probably some sort of alloy metal that has a lot involved with it, and I just don't want to make it the hard way. As soon as these fields are set up, I will show you what I've put in them. Now let's go get the blueberries started big time. I'm getting overflow here on blueberries, so blueberries are not going where I expect them to go. Alright, an item that I forgot on the blueberry field were these emerald upgrades, which are needed in order to harvest the whole field. So let me install some of those. And we should immediately see blueberries pouring in. So let me install some over here on the other side. And I will also need them for the tree farm, so I'm going to go ahead and put them there. I will finish the setup of the tree farm between episodes. Taking a shortcut, let's come over here and see how the smoothie machine is doing. I did take the liberty during a cut to go ahead and set up the water supply down here, so we are producing snowballs. We've already filled this with snowballs. I don't see any blueberries in here. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's using them as fast as it gets them. No, they're piling up over here in overflow. I bet I know what it is. I have set up a filter, but I have not actually connected. So now that we're connected, we have blueberries coming in. So let me come over here and take all of these blueberries that appeared in the overflow and put them back in here so that they will get processed. Alright, now that some of the details have been taken care of, we should see that we are in fact filling this up with blueberries. Every time some snowballs pop in, they immediately disappear because they're getting converted into smoothies and shipped over here to the Quest delivery system. So let's see how we're doing on blueberries. Smooth like butter is at 340 out of 100,000, and it's ticking up in increments of 4 at a pretty good pace. At this rate, it should probably be done within about a day. So with that, I think I've shown you what I need to show you this episode, and I will see you next episode. Thank you for watching.